the stone they use.
Yep. So
Stopped and started re-recording a new time frame. It stopped itself and did like a new recording.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not always a supernatural thing, but for research. But you can see like where something has been rubbed off, you know, and the dates are there, but the name is gone, or you know, something odd like that. But the word November did show up on my word list, so I'm hoping the number 28 also showed up somewhere. So that would be the full date. Or yeah, can't. He's got the recording. I'm hoping that the 28 showed up on Dad's
Mine was
recording.
58.
Yeah, but there might be something on there you missed.
Oh, right.
So as I spot check it, not to say that I'm going to be seeking out 28. If it happens, it happens. But November is definitely relevant to the date of Ann Bonny's trial. So
she did not want to.
I swear it's the truth. I swear it's the truth.
I swear it's the truth. Alright, let's head over here. I'll start collecting your guys'
Okay,
gear.
can I stop recording now?
Yes, you can stop recording now.
Okay.
Stop recording right in the corner there.
No more. No.
Oh, by the way, that gate that
How do
we
you
were
do that?
standing, that I was standing in front of over there at the Duelers Alley, that gate is there because in the event there was a loser to a duel, that was the shortcut to get to the cemetery. Otherwise, they'd have to go all the way down the Queen Street and down around. What's that?
Who wants that? Just take
I
it in
know.
the back.
Then next thing you know, they're on the ground. I can't label it as paranormal because some of those nights are pretty hot and heavy. You know, it's very humid here. So again, I can't always label it
I can't
that.
figure it out.
But I can tell you that out of the, I don't know, 8 or 9 people that have passed out on my tours, most of them have been psychics. Most of them have been psychics.
So they can feel something, huh?
Well, it's that EMF. It's affecting their brain because they're getting too many messages as it is, and then they get that neurological piece because electricity messes with the brain, and then they're down on the ground. Yeah, and I'm not talking always older people either.
Right.
People in their 30s or 40s that have shown up. And I've had some psychics that are, they come all the way through to the end, and then they always see a soldier standing over there by them damn bushes, and they all describe the soldier the exact same way: blue pants, white shirt.
Really?
Yeah, which is weird because we're in the South. This is
oh yeah, the Union, right?
yeah. Would have had a Confederate soldier, which would have been a gray uniform. You might want to be careful. People around this church get a little funny.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Well, somebody's parking over there, and I don't know what's going on. And there was some tourism officers out a few nights ago where this is almost an off-limits location.
Oh, okay.
Like we're right along that edge, borderline of allowed to be in here, not allowed to be in here, kind of thing. So I'm always like pressing it. So, but that was the only night that I seen those officers.
Right.
So sometimes people that belong to the church, they park in here because this lot belongs to St. Philip's Church.
Oh, okay, okay.
So they just get a little weird about it.
Warranty.
That's a common one. Sorry. It's an easy one.
Yeah.
You guys have the non-recordable one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Let's go catch up with them because I want to make sure, like, this guy in the... You guys were going to go check out the churchyard?
Yeah.
Sure.
$49.
493. Everyone knows everything.
Listen
from your phone. Leading apologetics.
I mean, we got in front of the cemetery.
And we'll be more
there was
energetic.
One part of the song, and right when it popped up, it said, "Talk to me." So we all three stood over there and just started asking a bunch of questions.
What's funny is I had the phrase "tell me" show up on my word list when we came in here.
Yeah, when I was over there, it said, "Talk to me." So we started just asking a bunch of questions.
Interesting. Are you showing up at all?
He was carrying this.
Oh, what did that mean? Okay.
I didn't see the numbers coming off.
Huh?
I thought it was Gangster's Paradise for a second.
We lost them.
He doesn't know.
Alright, so the guy behind us doesn't know, so we have to record on our
I can't
phone.
watch this. Like,
We had to record. Remember, he said to do this and then listen back later on. So he doesn't know. He said to record on your phone.
oh. Like the nightlife, maybe. Oh, I mean,
Oh, we can't go
you gotta
there.
put that down.
Alright.
You can just go up over
Rochester Spirit. That was weird. Did you hear Rochester? Did you hear Rochester? We're in South Carolina.
there. What are your children, Amy?
Do it slowly, and kind of go through it, you know, slowly day by day, and hopefully it's going to hold the building back.
What happened to your late night
You just
sleep?
need about 400 more of them.
Well, the funny thing
Here's
is that the building
thought
behind
right
it,
up there by that
that's an apartment
cemetery
building.
area that he
And
heard
it
it.
actually
It's
has
they
them
talked
going
to me.
through on
Oh.
this side.
Okay.
So it'll
You wanna go head up there?
straight this way,
Yeah.
and
Let's
then
go.
again this way. So
We
they're almost
said,
like
tell
right
us
on
some
top.
things, and I don't know if it said anything to him that was.
It's still used today.
You have to watch the viewfinder.
I mean, on
So you can, like,
We heard them say Rochester, which it's states away of where we're from.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way of hearing that on the radio. And that was kind of weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
All different science behind
Yeah,
town.
because we were
Apparently they got, like,
standing here
shifting
talking
plates
about
underneath
like
the
how
And the
warm
pendulums in
the
the middle of the
trees
buildings, that's pretty
are.
neat. How much some of those pendulums sway.
and some of the monuments,
Yeah,
and
this
he
is
said he
about
heard
where
it
we
say
were,
talk to
right
me.
up here where it said
Those two stone markers back there, really
You know what's
bright.
interesting about this place is that on this half,
Back, like the purple and white mark right there.
Those
I'm more interested
two
in
that are
November.
side by side look like
28th.
they're
Yeah,
lava.
I'm looking right
Yeah.
here. There's some kind of
So Calhoun is buried on this side. His sarcophagus is
White
like back to your
circle.
left a little bit.
a white circle.
Mm-hmm.
So you said
I think
you
it's a
don't
lighting.
confirm a lot of stuff until you go through the expert, your wife.
As far as if I can't figure it out on the either a photo or a camera, then it goes to her.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a lighting issue or I'm like on the fence about it, I hand it over to her, and because you guys will send me photos, she just needs to know what cell phone it came from. A lot of times it came from stuff.
Yeah.
So she used to work for Best Buy. She was the cell phone manager, and her photography degree kind of puts her as she knows every damn camera.
And knows if they're manipulated
Right.
or
I'm
something.
not really getting a lot of words coming out of here.
No, you wanna go?
What's that?
Yeah, let's go a different spot.
Okay.
We know that most steel orbs that people
Can we? Oh, we can technically go over there. too.
Yeah. Come on.
so we just need to know which
No, we can't with the
See, you belong to me.
You can just get in the wall. Oh, there you go.
normally heating on it would mean that there's a piece of cold air being generated somewhere else. So if I see something flow in heat, like moving up really
What's your name?
Do you want to talk to us?
I don't even know if this is.
Right.
So again, if I see heating on it coming back here,
What did you want to tell us?
the other pieces that are like
We only have a few more minutes.
628.
628.
Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Yeah, there's some. That. I don't know what you call it. That sarcophagus.
Yep. Right.
Do you want to show yourself?
It's because this is going to
Forces that stay.
the wrought iron bars are going to be very cold.
Because it was weird. It was a black box with all the other things that are stone that were formed.
It's kind of the issue.
There's a lot of quick debunking in space level movement, especially with the camera.
Theories about what?
So if we see like a light anomaly,
Kind of serious about.
make sure it's
But they said you belong to me.
and then it disappears. So that way it's kind of like it showed up.
That was the song earlier. You belong to me. Remember, I heard that song.
Because those are really famous. That's a quick debunk. But
So someone she was in love with.
What else do you have to tell us?
Which is why I kind of tried to move it around because I was like, well,
What do you got to chat up with us about?
Yeah, I haven't seen this before. No. Alright guys, we'll sit across the street.
And all the rules, we just gotta go with it.
Realize what?
We're inside the cemetery. I have never been in here because for the 6 years that I've lived in the Charleston area, this is never open. The reason why is because this is that. Not necessarily because of that. This is for native Charlestonians only. So if you belong to the church, like Charles Pinckney, the husband that we talked about earlier, he's buried in here because he's only from here.
Okay, so I heard an older gentleman walking with two friends up.
Yeah,
when he
just
was
a
sitting
minute
over
ago.
there, and he said the weird thing is I can be buried in that one. He said I can't be buried in this one.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes
That's
sense
why.
now.
Because
then.
he's not from here.
Yeah.
So John Calhoun, why he's buried over there, that your 7th vice president, by the way, is because they moved his sarcophagus several times trying to figure out where the hell he was supposed to go. They didn't know he wasn't from here, so he originally started on this side, and then there was debate back and forth. Like they moved him like 3 or 4 times. So he's over there because he just lived here for a very long time. He's not actually from here. I want to say he's actually from the Columbia area. So you have to be native to Charleston in order to be buried on this side. Yeah, well, also rubbing is illegal in South Carolina. So,
Oh, is it?
So, like getting rubbings of gravestones, because they're so old here, it is illegal. Like, this is another reason why this one is always closed off. Again, for all the years that I've been coming down here,
Why is like rubbing a gravestone?
because it'll eventually wear off the letters that are on
Yeah.
here, and you won't be able to read who's actually buried.
It can harm
Can do is bringing me any answers. She's also dressed like a female. This makes Jack pretty angry. And while she was away giving birth to his child, he captured another pirate crew. They're down below deck. Anne's gonna go flirting because that's what Anne does. We're on guy number 3, in case you lost track. The guy she's flirting with turns out to be a female, dressed like a guy to be part of the pirate crew that Calico Jack captured. So now we have 2 females dressed like males on the same ship. Her name is Mary Reed. She went by Mark Reed to become a pirate. Her and Mary become friends, possibly lovers. We're never going to know for sure. But the British, they find out where they are, and they send a fleet of ships to come take down one pirate ship. Anne and Mary are the only 2 pirates not drunk enough to come up and fight with their 1-bullet flintlocks, no less, because they probably don't know how to use the cannons yet. They haven't been pirates for very long. Obviously, 2 ladies taking on a fleet of ships is not going to work out. As they're being arrested, she looks at her captain, her beau, Calico Jack, and she says, "You should have fought like a man instead of being hanged like a dog." The word dog shows up here a lot, by the way. The judge, he wants to see the 2 men that fought back so valiantly on their own. Anne and Mary go in front, which, by the way, Calico Jack and the drunken pirates, they're already dead and gone 2 days prior. Anne and Mary reveal their gender. The judge doesn't care that they're female. They're still pirates. He's still going to hang them. He sends them, well, then they scream out, "We plead our bellies," because you can't hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. So he sends them both back to jail and delays the hanging until after the pregnancies are over. But Dad is still up here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He bails out Anne, brings her back home. She remarries. That's husband number 2, but guy number 4, because we're going to count Mary. And she has 4 kids, dies at the age of 84. Yes, very abrupt ending, I know. But Mary Reed, she dies a year later, 1721, from whatever pirates die from in a Jamaican jail. Most articles and books will tell you that it was fever. I'm going to call BS on that one. It was probably scurvious and nasty and gross and whatever else your imagination wants to come up with. 2 things that I left out of this story, because spirit boxes, you're going to be able to ask whatever the hell you want to in this location. But I did leave out 2 things so you at least had a starter. I left out the name of Anne Bonny's parents. That's the father and the mistress. I also left out the name of Calico Jack's ship. So you guys can ask those 2 questions if you'd like. We can also spread out a little bit in this location. We can go over, if you want to go get some footage of the cemetery with the crazy cameras that we have. I know you guys have already been there, but you don't have any footage of it.
Yeah, sure.
Just don't interrupt the other tours. That means you have to exit right here and go across the street, because there's 2 different sides to the cemetery.
Okay.
If you want to go to the front of the powder magazine, you can do that as well. That means you exit the lot over there, go in front of the bushes on the left, and again, most tours will stop up in front of the powder magazine as well. So we're going to know within like 5 to 7 minutes if anything is going on here. And again, this is a hit or miss location. If anybody gets any kind of relevant terms, we might actually have something. We'll stay a few minutes extra, but otherwise we'll wrap it up. I will tell you with your device, and Bonnie loves to show us her hair color. You need to use your motion sensor in here, but don't get excited about the numbers if you're on that half of the lot because of the parking meters and the 2 electrical poles that are in the corners of the lot. So it's all about the colors here, not so much the numbers.
I can't hear
Unless
anything
you get
anymore. I
numbers
think
back
these
here.
things went
You
bad.
get a tuning back here a few weeks ago. I was
Can't
stoked.
hear
It's probably the
anything
first time
out of
that ever happened. But Anne's hair color is red. The only way to get a red, they have to touch the antenna.
Right?
Yeah. So have fun with that.
What do you think?
Good luck.
Have we had any
Oh, I just wasn't getting anything.
any other phrases or any other terms? You're the one with the earbud. So
Yeah. Do you want this back?
That's fine.
I don't know what that means.
Roku.
What's going to touch it with a stick?
Don't.
Do you want the earbud?
Be careful with that. Put your stick.
I mean,
put your
I've
stick
heard.
down.
Whoops.
Now grab the
Yeah.
stick.
check my
So we can go anywhere?
Yep. Yeah, spread out.
Well, let's go somehow the bulldog, whatever, is supposed to be this dark window. Someone walks by. But we're looking for Anne Dobson. What's her name? Annie?
Yeah, Ann.
Anne Dobson?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Looking for her. And the dad?
What?
The dad's name? And the mistress name.
Yeah. I don't know if I should say this.
It's hard to hear on yours for sure.
Yeah, I think it's like the wire is dead or something.
Oh, it kind of came out. There we go.
Oh. You good
Now
now?
try. Yeah. It's really loud.
Can we switch it? Switch sides?
It kind of came out. There we go.
We have to like ask questions so that they can come back through.
Yeah. We're looking for Anne and the name of her parents. She was in love with someone else before she had to go marry, right? Let me help.
Okay, so the parking meters make the numbers go. So if Anne is here, Anne, what
Can you
color
see
is
anything
your
on there?
hair?
Are you looking on there?
It's hard to.
More of a listener.
Yeah, I guess so.
Do you want me to hold it for a minute?
Yeah, I don't care. You
You
can.
can hold this? Okay. You can control the volume on the side. We're trying to get alive. Did you hear that? We're trying to get alive.
$44.
94.4. He was a sick man.
He was a sick
Did
man?
you hear that? You got 30 seconds to turn around.
No, we'll keep going. Where's Ann? What are your questions?
Hmm?
You're going to ask a bunch of questions.
I didn't hear anything yet.
No, I know, but you're supposed to ask and then we're supposed to hear responses.
Well, is Annie here? Where's your child? The child you had in Jamaica? There's no record of that.
What are your kids' names?
There's something right there, honey. Oh no, that's them. Okay, never mind. You want to go through the cemetery?
What do you
Yeah.
guys got going on?
Not much.
I haven't checked my word list in a minute. But yeah, looks like that tour just went over to the cemetery, so you might want to give it a few minutes.
Okay.
I don't know why the hell the name Lincoln is over here. But we do have the word bang. We were talking about Dueler's Alley.
Oh, yeah.
And we will get bleed over from there to here. But that looks like it was a few minutes ago anyway. Yeah, still got nothing. This is
You
actually
had
pretty...
30 seconds to turn around.
Yeah, you
Heard
did hear
that.
that.
30 seconds.
To turn around.
But I like the number 30. Like, that's very specific. Could be part of a date.
What was before that? There's something specific.
Or it could be that they wanted you to turn around. I have no idea.
Yeah, no, it was that feeling. It was like, you got 30 seconds to turn around. You're like, no, we're gonna keep going.
I like that we're changing the world. So one of the most significant pieces I have from one of those, this is probably, I don't know, right after I started investigating the space. I'm going through the research, or going through the recording the next day, and I hear two DJs, females, and they're laughing hysterically, and they go, they think we're guys. I'm like, that's shit I can't make up. Like, I can't do it.
Right.
So, again, and
Pretty
I have
direct.
other instances where, like, something has happened to a guest on my tour at this location. I didn't bring it up tonight because we have a 10-year-old here. So it's one of those, it can be a little bit more real.
Right, right.
You know,
Our
when it-
experiences was at the, what's it called? Henry.
Oh,
Henry.
Henry's.
well, this was something very physical.
Oh, okay.
Like, in a nutshell, it'll be on your recording too, but if he wants to listen to it later. About a year ago, this past September, I brought my group to the back, full group. The kid next to me went white as a ghost. Like, started to drop. I had to pick him up by his armpit so he didn't hit his head. His boyfriend picked him up from the other side of him. We brought him over here, sit him down, he's feeling better, and then told him a story about Aunt Bonnie. I spread everybody out with their devices. Last stop, go have fun. They pull me aside and say we're two transgender males, meaning I had two females dressed as males, just like Ann and Mary. So I was like, you gotta be shitting me. So I usually tell that every night.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like, that's why I give that heated warning. Psychics and mediums, they don't make it through the Pinckney Mansion site. Like, they just don't.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know how many times I've had to call the damn paramedics.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They don't tell me.
Motorcycle.
Motorcycle, I heard that. We didn't set you up, the Liberty Services did.
Alright. Anything else crazy being heard?
I heard a very, very clear, typical, like what you hear in a movie, ghost moan. I mean, yeah, like what you would think of in a movie.
Sounds are good.
It was pretty neat.
Okay.
Like that?
Well, it's recording, so we'll all hear it later on.
Your dad can't hear you very well.
What? What'd you say?
I said
Point
you
proven.
can't hear him very well.
Alright. Nothing else coming up on yours?
No. Just something was important
Something was important.
right now, and
Alexander.
trying to say something.
Alright, a couple things here. This is a very popular ghost tour stop, and of course there's every ghost tour normally finales at over at the St. Philip's Church graveyard, just because I let them have it, by the way. It's their one show and tell. Did you guys see that last night?
Oh, we went Saturday, but yeah, they did take us by there, I think,
Okay,
right?
with the sign in there that says there's no ghost
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
So there's a sign inside the graveyard that says there's no ghost here but the Holy Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The reason why is they don't want people like us going over there trying to recreate exactly what happened.
Right.
So I'm going to tell you what happened. But the reason why I let them have it is because there's a picture involved, and that picture is their one show and tell. So I kind of let them have it because it's a pretty famous picture, at least in my world it is. So that sign is because in 1888, a young lady died by the name of Sue Howard Hardy. Now, we talked about initials earlier. Sue Howard Hardy, SHH. Exactly. It's cheesy, it's campy. I hate even telling you, but it shows up all the time. Now, she dies 6 days after her stillborn child. Very sad story. 1987, a local photographer is taking pictures of all of our beautiful cemeteries, and he captures a full apparition in one of his pictures while he's developing them. It's 1987. He doesn't have the tech that we have now. He sends it to Kodak. So Kodak doesn't know what to do with this picture either, other than to authenticate it, that nothing has been done to it other than the camera that it came out of. So, for guys like me, again, this thing is gold, but the picture's cursed. Any female that handles it, even in a digital format, so like a tablet or cell phone, is said to have the same symptoms we talked about at the beginning. The headache, the nausea, the dizziness. Pregnant females are said to not have a good pregnancy based on the gist of the stillborn child in the story. I'm not going to be the guy where somebody had a great vacation and 9 months later I cursed their family. The only thing I ask is you don't touch my darn tablet when I show you the photograph. She's
Fine,
like, yeah.
so I do the same thing to your mother.
I want to touch.
Tubes are tied. Good.
Yeah, yep.
See how much
Good.
nauseous.
No more for me.
I need to touch the see how much girl.
What?
So, I'll go 2 by 2. Did you guys see this when you guys were over there? Did they show you the photograph?
Mm-mm.
So
Yeah,
here's the
we
photo.
did see that.
Oh, did we see it?
Yeah.
So, the apparition is right here.
Uh-huh.
Those are her shoulders. She's praying over her own grave, and there's a baby basket next to her.
Oh, whoa.
This is probably another instance where the baby is buried with the mother. I went through the church records trying to find the records for the baby to find out what the gender was and that kind of thing. Nothing. Can't find anything.
Out?
No. Why would it? I'm looking at paperwork. But I didn't take this picture. But you can kind of see like where that's the full picture that he took, where this would actually stand out. So, again, this is why everybody's over there. They make it this big elaborate story. I at least like to give you a small gist.
Right.
So, we're over here to discuss pirates. So I say we get into that.
Yarr.
We're going to be talking
Which
about...
maybe
start
why
recording?
Jimmy had a gun earlier.
Jamie.
Can I
What
start
happened?
recording again?
He said, who had a gun? That's the song.
Oh.
He said, was it Jimmy? I said it was Janie.
Janie had a gun.
So he may have
Jimmy?
heard Jimmy. I don't know. But
Can
he did that.
I start recording again?
You can.
Are we on?
Use that bathroom.
Oh.
I gotta pee. You good?
Just put it in the cup.
Yeah, she's not listening to that.
Not for long. Oh, I guess
We're going to be going through history anyway. So, we're going to be discussing that little tiny building over there. You might not be able to see it with that big
Oh,
van in the
yeah.
way.
We saw that on our tour
Wait,
earlier. It
do you
was
think you can
cool.
hold this?
You took a picture of this house. Remember we were walking
Here,
over here?
I'll hang on to it and I'll wait
Oh
for
yeah,
you
so
guys
there's
to come back.
supposed to
How
be
about
someone in the window
that? You want the volume down?
from the Bulldog
No,
tours.
he turned it way down. I can't.
It's a wheel.
Oh. Okay.
I haven't heard anything.
It's hard.
Me neither.
Thank you. It just said thank you. I swear to God.
We'd love to talk and we'd love to join.
I mean, it's hard to listen to this and you.
I know, and most people turn them down. That's why I say you can mess with the volume what you want.
Is that loud enough?
And since
Which, if it wants to be obvious, that's fine. But I'd rather hear your stories.
most teenagers, like, they put both in and they crank it. They don't want to hear the history. They just want to see what comes out
Yeah,
of
I'd
it.
rather hear the stories.
Okay, come on.
So when I designed this, it was about the history buffs and the supernatural.
Oh, I thought we didn't take our pirate story yet.
It's kind of like a visual display. Again, I realized this out.
Yeah. I think this guy
have
thought
to wait
it
here?
would be like
Where's the guy?
apparitions appearing in
Okay.
the cemetery.
Yeah, her husband or something?
Oh, you went in the bathroom.
Oh,
There's a little
Believe it or
porta
not,
potty
that's what
there.
most people think when they get here. This is how an actual legitimate investigation goes. But I don't like to know the history ahead of time, like what I'm doing for you guys. I don't look anything up until later. I want to see what matches up after I've gone through the data. So that way I can kind of see
Right.
where the legitimacy comes from.
Well, yeah, so you're not, like you were saying, planning any subliminal messages or...
in my own brain,
That's
right? Yeah.
I'll
I'm
be
collecting
there.
types of acorns to see which one will grow at our house.
You guys are in Indiana, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, northeast, just about 20 miles north of Fort Wayne. Really about the country, about 9 acres.
Arr, mateys.
Yeah. Ohio, what brought you here from Ohio?
Previous job, actually working in my area.
Oh,
Old school money, she's a rich girl. Did you hear that song
and
in
it's
the
warmer
background?
than Ohio.
No, I
so
didn't
that's
actually.
She's
I like
a
it though.
rich girl.
Way different. It's like
Wanna
moving to
be
paradise,
mine,
considering where I
something,
came from.
nice. Right, yeah.
So-
No offense, Ohio, we've
No.
driven through it. I mean, northeast Indiana,
What you
there's not
got?
a lot special there either.
Yeah.
All right, Alexander, come on over. All right, so that little tiny building over there, if you can see the crosses on there, those are not crosses, by the way. Those are earthquake bolts. So earthquake bolts, the gist of those, if you're unfamiliar, they're turnbuckles. So in the event we have another earthquake, like what we did in 1886, you can turn them, and it's supposed to straighten the building back up to prevent it from damaging any further.
Oh.
It's kind of a clever idea, it just doesn't work. So the only reason I bring it up is because those are the first set of earthquake bolts that we put in Charleston, because that's the oldest government building in South Carolina. So, yeah, that's part of the reason why we're here. We've dealt with intelligent ghosts, we've dealt with residual ghosts, now we're dealing with a familiar ghost.
Political ghost. Oh.
Familiar. So we're here because
Wait, I know
Anne
him?
Bonny moved to this area at the same time that this building was being constructed. So again, this would be something familiar. We don't have many buildings this old, so that's why we're here. That's why it's a hit or miss, because there are other buildings around here, just not many of them. But anyway, follow me, there's a lot of twists. 1708, right in the middle of the building's construction, a young lady moves here from Ireland. She's with her father and his mistress. The mistress is Anne's mother. Is everybody with me so far? The three of them are running away from his angry wife. Yeah, how mad was she? Just pointing that out. Now, Anne back home in Ireland was kind of a badass. They say she actually killed one of her servants when she was only 7, 8, 9 years old with a knife to the belly. So just like want to put that mentality of this young lady in the back of your brains as we kind of go through her history. The building's done in 1713. Pirates are coming through town in 1715. Anne is stoked because she's going to fall in love pretty quickly so she can try to earn her freedom like a man. It's a man's world at this point. First guy she falls in love with. Yes, I said first because there's a handful and we're going to go through them. First guy is James Bonny. You already see where this one's going, right? Dad didn't approve because he's a filthy pirate. They run away to Jamaica. They get married. Anne Cormac is now Anne Bonny, the famous female pirate. However, when she got down there, this James Bonny is not the Captain Jack Sparrow that she was hoping for, because every young lady wants a Captain Jack Sparrow, by the way. This guy is a privateer. He's a spy for the British. He's a coward. This is not who she wants. She falls in love again a few years later. This guy's name is John Rackham, a.k.a. Calico Jack. This is literally the person that they based your Captain Jack Sparrow character off of. So is he the Captain Jack Sparrow? Yes, indeed. The one. He has his own ship. Anne wants to be part of that crew, but you can't put a girl on a pirate ship. Does anybody know why?
It's a ship full of men and
No,
the
we're
middle of the sea.
not. Keep it clean.
She's fine.
It's bad luck.
Oh,
That's why.
okay. Well, I'm in.
I was trying to keep it PG-13, and Mom's over here getting a little rusty.
I'm being honest.
I can see that.
I
So-
got bad luck that girl on some shit.
Oh, this thing just
The
told me
whole-
to knife you.
It's weird.
Did it say knife?
No, I don't.
So
I wish it did.
he makes a deal with her. If you want to be part of the ship, you're going to dress like a guy to hide your gender, but you're going to be a female in my quarters. She's okay with this because Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy back home in Ireland to keep her away from his wife. So she's like, whatever, again, man's world, let's do this. Most of us are adults here. Let's put two and two together. Being a female in his quarters, she's eventually going to get pregnant. You can't have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out that she's a female and that Jack let her on the ship. So he drops her off in Cuba. These are friends of mine. Have the baby over here. They're going to help you out. Come back later. We'll figure it out. She goes and has the baby, but returns with no baby. We have no... Yeah, I don't have anything other than the word wife, and that's a little too vague for me. So, again, I would need the name Amanda, fiance, inheritance, anything like that that's going to be a little bit more specific. The word wife, yeah, that's a little too vague. All right, we ready to go learn about crazy pirates?
Sure.
All right, so you guys had your pirate tour last night. This is probably going to be a little too familiar.
Same pirates aren't fun. Yarr! Here.
Leave half my water bottle
1,000?
drip down my leg.
Oh, should I turn this off?
Yes, please.
Be a nice servant.
Yeah, kind of kill your video if you don't mind.
Oh,
These
yeah,
people
yeah.
walking by.
Remember?
Yeah, I don't want to record
We had,
other
the
people.
one most prominent one was like the 70s show, right?
Yeah,
thought
and then it
that's what
said
you said back
Masterson after that, which was one of the actors on there.
Yeah. That 70s show. Which he loves.
Yeah.
He
I don't
loves the
hear anything
70s.
right now.
Yeah, nothing.
That 70s show was back there, and then he heard 1958.
I have
Interesting.
no idea.
Trying to remember the archaeological dig that they did over there. I want to say happened in '84. So I was trying to maybe it was the year that they did the dig or something along those lines. But welcome to Dueler's Alley. This is called Philadelphia Alley now. So this is where some of the duels used to occur. Every tour guide every ghost tour is down here. So this is kind of a staple for all of the ghost tours around here. But of course we're going to be talking about it a little bit differently because we're ghost hunting. You guys need different details. So here's how this goes down. Is that the same tour guide you guys had last night?
Mm-mm.
Or do you guys have the actual pirate guy?
And there was a
Girl. That was
pirate
very
girl.
comical.
Got it.
I'm trying to put some words.
Okay. So just kind of keep it pointed down that way and don't film those
Can
people.
you turn it down a little bit?
Down? Yeah. You want it up?
Just a little bit.
So, here's how this story goes. Again, this is a normal staple. A doctor moves down to Charleston from Rhode Island because he's supposed to get married to his fiancee Amanda. Did you guys hear this one already? Did she already bring it down here? Wow, she didn't bring
Well,
it down.
no, she did say the duel. This is where the duel is. You don't remember that?
But she didn't go over the whole story?
No.
Okay. So his fiancee Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents. She has an attorney that's helping her out with all of the cash. So the attorney thinks that Dr. Ladd is just after all of her money. So he tells her to get rid of the doctor, which, by the way, the doctor's name is Joseph Brown Ladd. We do get a lot of terms relative to his name down here. So, to prove that he's not after Amanda's money, he moves to Charleston. And as he's coming into town, the coachman brought him in, set him up to be robbed and killed. So it wasn't a very good start to his stay in Charleston. But somebody was walking by and saw it was about to go down because he knew the coachman, because he lived here. His name was Ralph Isaacs. I stop on Ralph because Ralph has the same initials as where the doctor came from. Rhode Island, Ralph Isaacs. I do have a digital Ouija board that we're not using tonight that's in my bag.
That's fine.
Yeah. Once I seen your demeanor, I was like, we're going to leave that one in the bag. But even before we started using that, because that's relatively new to the tour, I mean, it's a brand new device to the field, but we were getting the letters RI on spirit boxes in the weirdest format. So, Ralph tells the doctor, I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Don't go inside. I got some friends at 59 Church Street. You can stay there, and you'll be safe and good to go. Dr. Ladd takes him up on the offer, and they become friends. We're going to let them pass through. So, now, the longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. So he's proving his point that he wasn't just after Amanda's money. So that means also that Amanda's moving down soon. Hi, how are you? Sorry. Amanda's moving down soon, so the doctor's pretty happy about this. He becomes known as the Whistling Doctor. Every haunted city you're ever going to visit has a cliche whistling ghost. I'm going to guarantee that for you right now.
How many people hear the whistle?
I actually have quite a few that I can't debunk. We're going to get into that.
So, do you
So-
hear the whistle?
Oh wait, there's more to this. Hang on a minute.
Would you hear the whistle with the technology or without? Like,
Both.
I want to be all ears.
The cool thing is, and I'm going to get into like how we actually listen for those whistles, but we do get the word whistle on the spirit boxes, and we've had commercials and songs come through with just the whistling part of the song. Think of Guns N' Roses' Patience, think of the Maroon 5 Moves Like Jagger. So like we do get just that whistling part, but we have gotten other pieces that are audio pieces just from the regular voice recorder of faint whistles in the background. You just can't really make out what they are. But anyway, Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together, but they can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. He gets better seats, so they can't sit next to each other. They talk about these plays on the way home. And one night they went to go see Richard III from Shakespeare, and they're arguing over the new actress that was here in town. Dr. Ladd thought she was fantastic, but Ralph didn't think so. So the argument gets even more heated when Ralph starts insulting Amanda, the doctor's fiancée back home in Rhode Island. They go their separate ways. I know, history can be long, buddy. So I call out every yawn. Now, Ralph, having a lot of friends here, has his friends at the newspaper, and he puts an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a disgrace to society kind of mentality. Dr. Ladd sees the newspaper ad, and he rebuttals with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. We're going to settle this. So they come down, they take their 10 paces, they turn, the doctor points his gun in the air, and he's shot. He didn't want to kill his friend, just wanted to have the courage and bravery to show up. But Ralph, he has his one shot, and he puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. The doctor didn't die either, but he's carried home by his friends to 59 Church Street, where he died 10 days later after refusing medical treatment. You have to remember that this guy's a doctor. He probably tried to bleed out the bullet himself. So again, the campfire ghost story part of this is that you can hear the whistles as you're going through. Now, if you guys are going to try this without a tour guide with you and go all the way through, turn on your voice recorders from your phone and listen in the background to it later. What I will tell you is that every local knows this story. Anybody walking up and down Cumberland or Queen Street from the other side is going to throw a whistle down the alley. I do it every single night. We're going to end over there, and my garage is that way, so I have to pass the alley every single night. So I always throw a whistle down there, and if my daughter's on the tour, we race to see who's going to throw the whistle first. Especially since I got booted out of here.
Down? So you would like whistle in the lane?
What year was that?
Yes.
1786.
He does the whistle.
So, nope, don't mess with that tour yet.
No?
Nope, they're going to see exactly who's doing it. Now, here's how I got booted out of here. Here's the fun part of the story. This alley didn't always come all the way through on this side. It didn't always go to Cumberland Street because this is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston. So they had to kind of keep them inside. It was called Cow Alley. That was the name of the
Lord
alley.
is my life.
What did you hear?
Keyword. Lord is my life.
Oh, we're
It was
right
like
next to St.
separate.
Paul's Church.
Yeah.
We're going to start getting more religious terms. It happens pretty much on a nightly
Yeah,
basis.
that was weird because
Yeah,
it was
that
like
was
keyword.
Right after you asked something, they're like, keyword.
But that means because this didn't go all the way through this way, those bricks down there on that side are older. Those are sun-dried bricks from slave children. There's a full handprint from a slave child and fingerprint swipes in those bricks. At the other side, I would always show them off because we all need to see it. You know, it's one of those pieces that shows how far we've come. I don't care about the diversity of my group. It was a matter of, you guys figured out I'm all about history, right?
Yeah, that's
so,
crazy.
But here's what goes on. Everybody tries to get a reading out of that one brick with the handprint. That kid's not staring at that brick in the afterlife, just so you guys know. But November 26th of 2020, my entire team of 10 is huddled around one brick trying to wait for a spirit box reading or an EMF or something to happen. Again, the kid's not there. I'm trying to shoo them along because it's outside the dining room window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. Well, the guy got tired, and he was a new owner of the place too, so he come out screaming. My daughter thought it was great because she was on the tour that night and Dad's getting yelled at. Yeah, so we moved on. The next day was Thanksgiving. I didn't have a tour that night because I worked in retail management for over 20 years. Never doing another, Thanksgiving day again. The next day was November 28th. These dates are relevant. I'm getting to it. November 28th, I get a phone call asking me to go down halfway, which is what we're allowed to do, or to reroute my group. I told my group that night, because I was sold out again, remember it's Black Friday, you guys are all in town, that I don't believe in the story we're about to go through, but we're going to see what happens and kind of wing it. It was going to be dealing with pirates. So I was kind of like, let's just see what happens. I'm a vampire guy. Before we left, somebody heard the name Anne on a spirit box. I did not tell them we were going to be investigating female pirate Anne Bonny. We get down there, I told what little bit I did know about pirates, and somebody else hears the number 300, and I don't know what that means until I'm doing the research the next day. We were there on November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy was November 28th of 1720. We were there on the exact 300-year anniversary of her trial. Wow. So I keep taking you guys back up there in hopes that we're going to continue getting more, stuff out of it. But it is a hit or miss location. As somebody with a master's degree in writing, it took a lot to put together a factual tour based off of pirate lore. I've read more damn books on pirates than I ever wanted to in my entire life, trying to piece this together. So, when we get up there, worst case scenario, if we don't get anything, you learned a whole heck of a lot about pirates that you never knew before. The good thing is we're going to be able to spread out a little bit. And that way, it's going to be like the Pinckney Mansion site, but it is a very popular area. So we're just going to stay out of the other tour's way. We're going to find our spot, that kind of mentality. So, have we heard anything else? Oh, you heard keyword, Lord is, what was it?
Lord is life?
Lord is life. Interesting. Derek, you got anything coming out of yours?
Not really.
Good thing yours is recording.
Heard some Lizzo.
I heard Tylenol Advil at one point.
What did you say?
Tylenol Advil, I heard.
I was gonna say, I heard a little bit of
Yeah, you're
Lizzo
getting
a
a
minute ago.
headache coming on.
Why do I keep, for a glimpse second, just seeing that little cone?
I mean,
right
if
there
you guys
turn into a man,
really
and
want to
disappear.
play with the Ouija board thing, I'm
Ouija board. Ouija board.
just
So,
so you know.
To be honest with
I'm
you,
fine.
that
board.
device is literally that device is literally brand new to the field. So it's almost like I wait till I have my larger groups because again, it's one of those
There's
pieces.
more
I'm teaching the
fast
ghost
things
how to
around.
use the darn thing. It works the exact same way that your device works. So anytime that there's an electricity spike in the air, it stops on a letter. And then it saves all those letters, and we have to look for
Okay.
anagrams, initials, full words being spelled out.
Okay,
that kind
I
of thing.
see. So it's more like, okay.
So I call it the digital Ouija
the
board
Wild
because, of
Wing
course,
does.
of what we're doing out here, and a lot of people want that creep factor.
Right.
But it
So
is
what the
called
Wild
an
Wing
envoy,
does?
is basically how it
Stevie
works.
Nicks?
It's a really unique device, but again, it hasn't been
There you
super
go, that
fruitful
one.
as far as what I was hoping for, like right away. So again, it's almost like I'm teaching the crazy ghosts how to use
Sure.
this thing because they don't know what to do with it. Asking them colors, they know they have to get to a certain proximity. All right, anything else crazy going on with your guys' stuff before we move on? I haven't checked my word list in a while. Let's see what we got going on.
Started. Check. Nervous as a duck and a llama. Check. Ready to hide under my pillows at home. Check. Okay, we're good.
girl.
It's really cold and really hot.
You just careful, there's people walking by. You don't want to film them.
I gotta hold your arm.
What do you guys hear? Get on there, Derek. Anything? You heard what now?
Her talk. I guess I didn't even listen to it during most of the
So we're not going to use the motion sensor in here. We're only going to be worried about that red screen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What did you guys hear on yours?
We're gonna have a party at Magnolia's.
That's what you heard.
That's a long phrase.
Ah.
Well, we heard we're gonna have a party, and then as soon as we put our heads up, it was Magnolia's.
Huh. Oh, they heard it at when we were at Yes.
Oh, got it. Understood.
Right.
It's like they were standing there.
We're going to have a party.
What
Anything
they
else
heard
come
we're
up out of
gonna
it?
have a party. When they looked up, she meant they
They
were
were
standing at
Magnolia's.
Magnolia's.
Alright, so welcome to Lodge Alley. This is a weird space. We don't spend a ton of time in here either, but I always like to point out what this place is. So when we crossed that last crosswalk coming down East Bay Street, that's where the original Charlestown walls used to be. So you're standing on one of the first streets we ever had.
Okay.
So I have the full list of residents of every single person that's ever lived down here, and you guys always give me the same two names back. Those two names are Benjamin and John. Now, it's not a lengthy list of people that lived here because it was only about 2 to 5 people that lived down here at a time, at least according to this list. Now, Benjamin and John, they both lived down here in the same year, 1801. It's 2 out of 5 people that live down here. Pretty decent odds that it's every 6 to 7 weeks when you guys give me these names, it's the same 2 people over and over again. Now, John likes to give us his last name too. His last name was Johnson. There were 4 different Johns that lived down here, so it's almost like he's claiming like which John he actually is. So we will get John, Johnson, and Benjamin all in the same evening from you guys. So again, you have to imagine I'm out here 6 to 7 nights a week, depending on the weather. So again, it's kind of happening every 6 to 7 weeks, and I have been gauging it. Right now, we're in week 2 of that loop, so I wasn't necessarily expecting you guys to hear those 3 things, but here's why it's happening. This is another paranormal theory. Here's how this goes. You're standing on Belgian blocks. These things have been here since 1739 that we know of. That's a few hundred years, basically. So basically, the stone tape theory states that any stone that's natural, these are made of granite, by the way, that has been in the same place for a long period of time, can hang on to the consciousness of the memories of the things that occurred here. So, in a nutshell, I believe we're dealing with the stone tape theory, and I've been measuring conditions even more closely over the past few months, trying to pinpoint when this is actually occurring. So when you guys see the moon phase and weather and all that stuff at the top of your data set tomorrow, it's basically for this location. So here's the weird thing. Granite is not supposed to have an electrical charge to it at all. Put your device on any brick. Let's see what we get. Anything up to 1.1 is going to be natural from the Earth, so I usually don't count anything with a 1 in front of it. So I don't really see anything going on.
3.8.
Small 3.8, okay. We have seen that device go all the way up to 15 in this location as we're getting closer to that 6th week. So it's like that 5 into week 6. So that's when we've been pretty much seeing that there. But at 3.8, it's not insignificant, but it's definitely not the highest number we've ever seen
So
here.
4.5.
Okay.
With my toe and my finger, I have managed to mark
Are we gonna go past Henry's?
highest.
We are not, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We're going to get close to it, but we're not going to go past it. The other weird thing that occurs down here that you guys will normally tell me about is you guys will hear the word Illuminati as we're entering the space. Here's the funny thing about the word Illuminati. This is where the Freemasons have their Masonic lodge. You guys will normally tell me you've heard that word or phrase off the radio station as we're entering before you know anything about the Freemasons down here. This is where the alley got its name from. Lodge Alley, Masonic Lodge. So, I guess the weirdest thing about this is who the hell's talking about the Illuminati on the radio? Like, that should be a first question. And second, why are we only hearing it in this space? You guys normally tell me that you've heard it as a joke. I just heard the term Illuminati.
Right.
Like, that's a joke. But it is definitely relevant to the space. And we do get other terms relevant to the Freemasons, like symbols and founding fathers. And
Which one was the lodge?
so none of these buildings that are here were here then.
Oh.
Has
So,
ever been?
to my understanding, it was up there and off to the left.
Okay.
So, again, that would have been 1790s
How
roughly.
old are these buildings?
These buildings are probably early 1900s, if not later.
Okay. Okay.
So, but yeah, relative. but we're talking about the people that live down here had shotgun houses. So little tiny 1-2 room houses, very poor, poverty, that kind of mentality. The smell of low tide would be coming through here because again, the other side of the wall was down on East Bay Street, so those big buildings weren't there. Again, the rich people of Charleston are not going to put up the smell of low tide. So again, this would have been people that were either, we'll call them seamstresses, if you're kind of getting my meaning there, or you'll see the word Cooper a lot on that whole list of people because it gave their occupation as well. So Coopers were barrel makers. So bakers were down here. There was a grocer at one point. There was even like somebody. His name was Alexander. He actually had almost like a bed and breakfast. Like he would rent a room out. So now the next space we're going to go.
So it's bustling.
Yeah. The next space we're going to is another alley. However, I can't take you all the way through it like what we're doing here. It is considered residential at the end, and I'm the one who got booted out of there. And yes, I will tell you how that happened because, again, I got caught. So it was a weird thing where I was just starting to do this and didn't really realize my full boundaries yet, but that's kind of the fun part of the story because that tells you why we go to the last place that we go to. But the next place is another alley. So when we exit, we're definitely going to stop our videos again because we're cutting through a neighborhood. We don't record houses the same way we don't record, cars. So you're going to stop your video as we exit, and then you can start it back up again once we get into the alley. But we're also going to be running into other tours at this point if they're out and about. It is a really quiet night for us out here. You guys are the brave souls to bear the cold. So I don't know that we're going to run into other tours, but we don't film other tours either. So we'll be very careful. So let's head up to the other alley. Do you have another reading over there?
6.2.
Anything higher than that?
No. Just 6.2.
On her.
It was getting higher as I went this way, and then it stopped. And the 6.2 was right here.
You're right about there again. Looks like it's pretty steady.
So there it is.
It's quite hard to decipher.
6.2. 6.4. 7. Right.
It's going up.
Weird. That's so crazy.
It's like there's people walking, taking steps there and then leaving.
Yeah, it's becoming charged like the longer you know about it.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's
a few
a red
dots
spot
around there.
right there. Right there.
7.3.
Yeah, I see 65. That's the lowest I see.
Let her pass through. You got somebody walking up.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, sweetheart. Come on. How are you?
Good.
See daisies.
So,
Some brick exploration.
I still say that 7.3 is pretty significant.
Yeah,
that's pretty. I
that's-
climbed up.
Yeah. Very strange.
Next month's gonna be golden.
Still recording or no?
As we exit, go ahead and shut it off. Or if you're comfortable shutting it off now, you can.
I want to try and catch
My water bottle is leaking down my leg.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep, we'll talk.
I didn't hear any names. I didn't hear any names. Not that I'm.
Any names?
Yeah. Did you hear any names?
Mm-mm. Oh, names. Yeah, no.
I don't know if I'm recording or not.
Like
Oh,
having
red
a
light.
wet pant leg on a nice chilly night.
Oh,
And I'm already
off.
cold.
What happened here?
No different colors though.
Yeah, I noticed.
We had to change again.
I told you I heard
Got
this.
near it, but
Hmm?
He said, I
the
told you.
colors, and it shot up there. Did I say 22? Did it go for 22?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Okay, I just shout them out.
Sing us
Yeah,
that
I wrote it
song.
down. I know what you guys do. You can usually tell the conversation on it.
What's that right there, babe?
That's the tire. What happened to your leg?
You guys getting anything? Can I start covering the answers?
Yeah.
Alright, so highest, we actually had a 14, a 17, and a 22 milligauss reading that showed up. So like those, like 18 to 22 is about an average of what we normally see here as far as a spike goes. But again, I have seen it. We have been getting much higher than that over the past, since the last full moon, which was about a week and a half ago. What's going on with this guy?
Whatever you want.
Oh.
You may not be asking the right questions.
Whenever I break out the tablet, once it boots up, I don't know why it shut down. I just charged it. I always kind of like to give you guys some visuals so you know who the heck you're trying to hunt down. For those of you with cameras, if you want to stop them to kind of give your hands a break, you can do that. Again, we're going to be doing a few starts and stops throughout the evening.
You need a break with your
We're
hand.
kind of like this. I can set it down.
I can like stop recording, you mean?
Yeah, you
Like
can
you
kind
hit the button?
Yeah.
What part of the house should we go next?
Northeast. What part is northeast? Towards the right? Which way is northeast then?
Sound from the devil?
Hmm?
What was that sound?
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that one.
What do you have to say?
I have a wonderful phrase like,
What happened to the building? Where's the mansion?
how many kids?
How many children?
We got nothing.
What color was the mansion?
Yeah, I like that song.
Names, 3 names. Charles.
Charles.
Where's Charles?
Anywhere you want, over that bridge.
Let's ask questions.
Okay. Well, we already went over there, so let's finish over here.
Where's Charles?
Where's your castle? Faster. That looks like a church. That building was probably an old church.
All right,
5-0.
all the red lights going on over here.
What's that?
I said with all the red lights going on over here.
Red lights?
Yeah, he's got red lights on his infrared.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got red lights on your screen.
Oh, okay.
So, what are you guys hearing?
Not much. Just music.
I
like
did hear the
little-
one song, Shout for the Devil. It's like an 80s song. I don't know if that means anything.
Just like I explained to him, no matter what you guys are hearing, it's not always going to be a direct answer. We're using at least 5 different pieces of communication out here, so
Okay.
he might be asking a question, and you're getting the answer, and you just don't
I
realize
just
it.
shouted out there, whatever it means, you know?
Yeah, so, again, if you hear drop it like it's hot, I want to know that you heard drop it like
Right,
it's hot.
that's what I did.
Okay.
Yep.
So, again,
Okay.
no matter how silly it is, if you make it out, it's a 50-50 shot.
Okay.
So,
Well, I was just saying that place looks like an old church for sure.
it is. It's a
And
restaurant now.
Then what buildings were built after a church? Obviously, that wasn't at the same time.
That building over there?
Uh-huh.
Definitely not, but I can tell you that that is actually part of the Pinckney's heritage. So the great niece, her name was Harriet, she actually started that as a church for any of the sailors coming in off the wharves. So, and it was for all religions.
Mhm.
So it was called the Redeemer. So when you walk in the front of it, you can actually still see the words Redeemer in the brickwork.
Can you go in there or no?
It's a restaurant.
Yeah. Oh, it's
It's
just
like
a restaurant.
yeah, it's like a 10-star restaurant. If you're willing to drop like $200 a plate, by all means
Right.
do so.
Yeah, right.
It's from the pictures I saw of it on the inside, like it looks like an old giant cathedral. Like it's like giant
Massive,
steeple, the
yeah.
whole nine. You know, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be gorgeous in there. Pretty high end though. I see a lot of bridal parties come out of there, that kind of thing. So pretty expensive stuff. But yeah, your Kenai is a good thing you pointed that out because it is part of the Pinckney family. So
Yeah, well, I mean, I was just picturing if there's a church and slaves back here. That doesn't make any sense.
well, not the same time period.
Mm.
So this was 1700s here, up until about the mid 1800s, and then I want to say that was built probably early 1800s, 1810s. I don't know the exact number to be honest with you.
So we forgot the questions we're supposed to be asking.
Where's the
This is
mansion?
about the mansion.
Where's
yeah.
the mansion?
And what
Okay, we said
and then-
castle.
And then when did that happen?
When did that happen?
So you might be getting, and it might be the month, it might be just the 3 digits for the full date.
Mhm.
So if it was
Is it-
January 1st of 1801, you might hear 111. You don't know. So I'm just kind of giving you the example. You might hear January 1.
Okay.
You know, that kind of thing.
So
The other
we're-
thing is the children.
Children.
How many? What their names were.
Oh, names too.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So.
How many kids and their names?
Yep. Easy enough.
And then what date of the
4
mansion?
questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not castle.
Not castle.
How many children over here?
What are their names?
What are the children's names? It's hard to hear anything
I know.
consistent. Where's the mansion? How many children live here?
Go back to the classical.
Hmm?
The classical music? Like, do you hear the piano music?
Oh, yeah.
Let's stay there. Let's go back.
Where?
To the piano. Like, you remember, did you hear the classical kind of in the background? That'd be way back then, because none of this garbage radio is not going to
Well,
work.
I can still make the sounds he's saying.
Only if you're Christian.
What happened to the mansion? How many children live here?
What were their names?
How many children live here?
9-5-9. 9 to 5.9.
Those are 4 questions.
Huh?
Those are 4 questions.
What was their names? Where's the mansion? What was the date? Date of the mansion?
When was the mansion here? It's gone now.
It's gone. We don't see it. Diamonds provided. What's that? Just
What
people
is
passing.
that?
I mean, if you want to give us a signal, we're a pretty good couple to talk to, I'd say, because we had such a good experience in Charleston, so we figured we'd come down here and just have like one last hurrah.
Where's the mansion?
We're monsters on the shelf. true. If we were back then and we're looking forward to all the people that came in after us, wouldn't it look weird to them? 'Cause they're probably wearing dresses and stuff, and we're all looking weird. Like, why is a girl wearing jeans? Right?
Yes. You gotta ask the questions, Emmy.
Huh?
You gotta talk to the spirits.
Oh, shit, okay.
We
Where's
gotta
your mansion?
stop. So we can, like, look.
Uh-huh. I haven't seen anything, that's why.
What happened to
Is
the
there
mansion?
one right there?
What year is it?
He was trying to describe this madness. Oh, is there right?
How many children live here?
I did. You lived here. Were
How
there
many of you were there? The next what?
In the next.
What was their name?
Like, Your Honor.
What were their names? Here, we'll come closer.
Okay.
Did you leave?
Huh?
Did you hear leave?
No.
What happened to the mansion?
Were you guys asking how many children?
Yeah. 4?
4.
Does that sound
It
okay?
just popped up. That's the correct answer.
Okay.
That's great.
Cool.
We also have the word leg and the word limit, and I'm going to explain that before we leave the space. So before we leave every space, I always give you all the answers of everything you guys were trying to ask. Again, I'm not just like, hey, go ask some random shit and kind of see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to give you the answers so you can kind of see how those stuff matches up. But the word leg and limit is very, very unique to the location.
Can we ask what happened to the leg?
It was actually with one of the children.
Oh, okay.
They fought in a war.
Oh.
Got shot in the leg. So left on a cane the rest of his days. So yeah, I'm gonna follow up. Actually, I want to see. Actually, I think everybody's about wrapped up.
Okay.
Did you guys hear anything else popping up out of there?
Did you hear anything?
I heard like a cry or like a yell for like to help get attention.
Yeah.
2023.
They were just surprised on how different. Like, I felt that feeling.
Well, let's head to the back. Let's go match this stuff up. Let's go see what's going on. All right, let's pull everybody to the back.
I had a 17 and a 4.
Where's the mansion?
There you go.
Yep, we're good. Yeah, I was holding it to her.
All right, go ahead and hit the record button on yours.
Done.
All right, I say we actually get away from football players and ponies. You guys ready to deep dive into history?
Let's go.
All right, let's do this. We're gonna head up this way.
Wait, so we can hear what you're saying in the phone as well?
Yeah, recording audio.
So I basically have 2 jobs as well. Recording things
And commentating.
and finding peace in the cold.
Did you say children?
Go.
No, I'm serious.
What?
I thought I heard children. Oh.
Yep. So, good. We're getting the gist of it. I'm telling you guys, I'm freezing to death. I'm not even gonna lie.
You're cold?
I'm cold.
I'm pretty chilly too. Kind of loose about the cold. Come on, Alexander. Walk in. Yeah, I know you were considering wearing shorts. Are you glad you didn't?
I'm too cold. Everything's cold. Everything's cold these days.
You're pulling away from me.
So you thought you heard children over there?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
All right. So those are the things that I'll be writing down.
6.5. 7.
Nice.
Oh, it's gone.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
kids.
why they call it ghost hunting. They don't stand still.
That's fine. I don't want it on me.
So what we're
Oh,
gonna
this
do,
seems
is we're
easy.
gonna
Everything is going.
I know I told
Okay,
you 2.5. Yeah. So at this point, I don't want to know anything below 6.7. So that way I'm not writing down a whole book of numbers. You
Sorry.
kinda get the gist.
Okay. Yep.
So, let me further explain what those numbers actually mean. So that way it actually be a little bit more creepy for you.
Oh, good.
I know. Yeah, that's good, right?
Uh-huh.
That's what you guys paid for. So, that's
Yep.
measuring electricity in the air, right?
Yep.
So if you were to put that device behind your TV, there you have a bunch of wires back there. It's going to read about 40 to 60 milligauss. So that's a pretty decent reading, nothing dangerous. But if you were standing next to your microwave that was running on high, it's going to be about 150 to 170. So it kind of gives you a gist of like what the scale is. The highest I've ever seen that device go has been in here at 214. So we left. Like those are dangerous levels. We don't mess around with that because that's like putting your head inside the running microwave. Yeah, so when you start, like in the event you get to close to triple digits, like in the 90s, like you got to let us know immediately. That's when it's like really okay to really interrupt me and let me know what's going on. So I'm a guy with seizures. I'm not playing around with high electricity and EMF fields.
If I run away, just follow me.
Can microwave still work if the lid is open? Or do you
No,
just
it's
drill
with
a
the door
hole in
shut.
the bottom and put your head in?
He's trying to figure out how to put his head in the microwave. That was a bad analogy. Sorry, Mom and Dad. So,
Let's go. It's getting cold.
Yeah.
All right,
we
so-
live with
So we
My
just
fish
stay
is
within the
cold.
parking lot?
oh yeah, you got to know what you're looking for first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna go through the history.
gotta
Congratulations, you made it.
escalate, yeah.
It's a parking lot. This used to be the Charles and Eliza Pinckney Mansion site. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so the mansion actually sat in the front of this space, facing East Bay Street. Eliza's garden was lined up with Five Church Restaurant over there and came all the way across. And we're standing in the servant and slave quarters for the home. So that kind of gives you the layout of the land. But there are 3 of you using spirit boxes at this point. I'm not going to be giving you questions like what color was George Washington's white horse, like what we did with the big red barn. You're going to get the answers from your spirit box. And yes, I'm going to withhold information on purpose so that way you guys have a genuine experience. Just remember, I'm going to be able to verify all of this with links tomorrow morning when you get your analysis back.
So just have fun. And
Oh, no. There's a history.
Oh.
Got to go through the history.
So you
It's going to make more and more sense.
children were standing in the slave quarter, and I got a hit. So
I'm
there's
looking
a dead
everywhere.
kid here somewhere.
Technically, yeah. Wow. Like how she drew that conclusion. Here's how this goes. Eliza and Charles had a son named Charles. They had a nephew named Charles. That's 3 different Charleses in case you lost track of that. That's why we look for the secondary clues, so that way we know which Chuck we're talking to. Now, the son and the nephew were signers of the Constitution for South Carolina. That's if I don't mention it, it usually comes up somewhere else. So we're going to talk about Eliza more so because her story is much more interesting anyway. I hate politics. Now, Eliza married Charles at a young age. If any of the 3 of you are going to ask Eliza how old she was when she got married, you're not going to get answers from the colonial times that she came from of like 12 and 14. You're going to get answers according to, today's standards. Now, as far as that goes, she did marry Charles because her father was over in England and he thought he was dying. He's trying to bring all of his kids home one last time. Eliza didn't believe he was dying, so she stayed put. It's 1744. You don't get married in 1744 to get a green card. We're not even a country yet. So she did marry him out of love, and no, there was no foul play, no affairs or anything like that. Now, she was correct. Dad did not die right away. Instead, he starts sending her gifts from England to this space. One of those gifts happened to be the plant seeds of indigo. Indigo is a plant that makes blue dye that makes her blue jeans blue. Like, that's basically what we use it for today. But when she got them, she didn't know what to do with it. So she had to learn from her slaves on how to keep it cultivated. It's not always hot here, obviously. We're all a little chilly tonight, me being freezing. Now, when she figured it out here, she moved it to a cash crop just south of here by the Stono River, and then gets a hold of her father to tell him that the rice plantations are going downhill and they're going to make a killing with the indigo now that she figured out the whole dyeing process. So now we have an international businesswoman during colonial times. That's her business. Let's get into the weird stuff, because that's why you guys are here.
Yay!
A couple of things you guys can focus on. So you guys are, we're not using a ton of different spirit boxes. Keep in mind I have 7 different styles of spirit boxes, so we're going to kind of like go really in depth here. Derek, with yours, focus on Eliza's death. As far as that goes, you can ask anything about how old she was when she died, what she died from, where she's buried, and which president was a pallbearer at her funeral. Like, those are very specific questions. with your guys' spirit box, I'm going to give you 2 different sets of questions because it doesn't have as many in each set. The mansion's not here anymore. What happened to it and when did that happen? Obviously, we're looking for a very specific date. Kind of keep that in mind. The other thing is the children. I already told you there was one. His name was Charles. There's more. You can ask how many and what their names were. That's it. The reason being is because there's a tragedy among those kids. You don't want to poke the bear. So just kind of let it be. Again, very respectable, prominent English woman. Let's not piss her off. Kind of mentality. So I haven't checked my word list in a minute, but yes, we are going to spread out in here. I'm going to keep Lydia behind, so that way I can show her how to use that motion sensor. And I don't have anything on here besides municipal, and it's very big. So I'm not super happy about the list so far, so we'll kind of see what goes on with that. Again, just keep in mind there's only 2 vehicles in here tonight. It's kind of nice. It's a weekday. Weekends, we're really restricted on space. We're just not going to go near those 2 cars at all. Just kind of keep that in mind when you guys are filming.
No cars.
So no cars at all. So nice slow movements, and again, you can share your earbud with him to help keep him occupied too. So I'm going to keep her for about 2 minutes and show her how to use that thing, and then I'm going to be catching up with you guys, writing a bunch of notes down or whatever you guys are hearing. So go have some fun with this. Move around, get some heat in you.
Do you want this one?
All right. So.
Hey.
Her name was Elijah.
Where's the mansion?
I can't see it anymore.
It's not here. I don't even know where else this is.
I'm just looking for little circles. I feel like this is a little loud. A little too loud.
No, I think it's okay because you can barely hear it when it finally comes through.
9 people on 92 million.
What happened to the mansion? People are listening.
It's going crazy. I gotta turn it down. It is way too loud. Can't even tune in into this. How do I turn it down?
Is it like a dial?
There we go. We can't ask certain things, but we can ask where the castle went to.
What room are we in?
How many children? But not about, like, the fate that happened here. Don't poke the wire.
Let's keep asking questions. No, let's just listen.
I don't think we're just supposed to look around, see if we see anything.
What's your name?
I don't got anybody. Alright, we're just gonna have to relax this shit. Let's go. If I had a child,
What happened to the child? What happened to everyone? Tell me what happened.
where's the castle?